And this morning we're joined by Professor Michael Ayamga, Deputy Chief Executive Officer, Environmental Protection Authority, and also Kwasi Kwarteng, lawyer, lecturer, campaign spokesperson, Ken Agyapong. But of course, we'd like to bring you the headlines, at least update what's happening in and in front of the newspapers. And Hunter Pele is on standby to do justice to that. Could you?
What you should have done, you just left it to me to do for you.
Aren't you a cutie?
But it's a Monday morning.
You look amazing in that pair of jacket and black.
So let's go through what the papers are reporting. Let's start with the Ghanaian publisher. And on the front page, Bono East roots for Dr. Bawumia. That's in a run-up to the MPP's presidential primaries, which is slated for 31st January 2026. Afeo Markin rallies minority ahead of the parliamentary reopening, because there will be reopening tomorrow, right?
Yes, tomorrow.
Next Tuesday. He says, be Ghana's backbone, not just critics. So when the minority is doing anything in Ghana, in parliament, they have to, do it in favor or in the interest of Ghana. And this is big. AMP seals $100 million Azuma acquisition. You remember the misunderstanding, you want to put it, that came up with this particular, takeover of Azuma Resources. But we are told that now the EMP has fully taken over that particular mine. Get the details on page 2 of the paper. Let's do the insights now. Bawumia dragged to MPP Council of Elders for allegedly engaging in religious campaign. Get details of that story. NIMOS undertakes massive crackdown on illegal miners. 12 excavators, 20 champagnes seized in latest swoop. Okay. Prophecy, I'm sure he's excited by the gains because the EPA is interested in cleaning up the environment. Venezuela alerts UN to imminent military threat amid U.S. escalation. The details is on page 9 of the Inside newspaper. Empowering African women critical to economic growth. That's according to the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. And Alliance United Party could be having for disgruntled MPP supporters, says Dr. Asante Ochre. Well, let's do other papers here. Economic Times says Ghana woos international investment, development supports communities at IMF World Bank joint meeting, which took place in Washington, D.C. Let's see what that brings us. Momentum built up on digital credit as BOG set to open applications early November. And details of that is on the back page of this paper, I think. Okay, on the front page. Let's do other papers here. The Custodian says, Afeo Markin fires up minority for Parliament tomorrow. Details of that story is on page 3. My victory will be for all. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia promises unity. Amaliba contradicts Poman Committee claims on CJ removal petitions. Well, it'll be interesting to read, right? Page 2 of the Custodian has details of that particular story. And Ecozoil donates life jacket for safety on Volta Lake in the wake of that particular accident that claimed several lives on the Volta Lake there. And Kwasi being AJ, okay, that story is talking about the new role of Kwasi being AJ. He is working with an institute there. The paper published that. Now, the news center, MTN to deploy blockchain to tackle Momo fraud. Sylvia, it comes with the picture of Mrs. Sylvia Otua Champon, who is Chief Product and Services Officer at Momo Limited. And also, that big story is on the front page of the news center there. EMP finally takes over Azuma by paying in full $100 million. A Ghanaian company doing this is just exciting, to hear. And GS reports smooth start to SHS admissions nationwide. But MF, I have a problem with this. Because over the weekend, I was sent a placement form for one student. In all his 6 selections, he chose technical schools. Then in the placement, they gave him a non-technical school and gave him business. His father calls me to say, I know my child, he can't do it. But technical, he can. So was he given a business program in a non-technical school when he chose
all
throughout?
That's rather strange.
Another one, he was given Takwa Secondary School. Then when he went to Takari Secondary School to enroll his child, having gone there to get a prospectus, he's now told that on the system, he's been placed at St. John's. What happened? How can that? Who did that?
Truly.
Yeah.
I would have thought that for this free SHS, we've come quite a long, not free SHS, I'll say the placements.
Yeah.
I would have thought that we've come a long way. We might have right our wrongs, I should say, and then do better at least this year. This year, they have reported largely some positive strides. A few omissions, I think.
So this particular one may be few.
Maybe.
But they should pay attention to it.
Of course they have
Parents
to.
are worried.
Yeah.
My child didn't choose the school. You gave him the school and gave him business. He cannot do it. My child chose Takwa. You placed him at Takwa, but then it was changed later on to St. John's. What's happening? Maybe they should.
I hear children are on a hunger strike. They're not eating. Because, of course, the school they want to go to, and they see their friends as well going to school. Saturday, of course, you realize that a little over, nearly 600,000, they were going across the country going to school. And imagine, okay, your parents are saying we're working on it and all of that. It's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling.
A story, but yeah, that will be for another day. HCOA Greenfield to build Ghana's first AI-powered teaching hospital. Whoa, really? Will be an interesting story to read. The details is on page 6 of the paper. Republic Press, Ashanti hit up as Brian Agyapong campaign machine rose in. So Brian Agyapong has he's completed the Greater Accra region. He's now in the Ashanti region, and the story is that Ashanti is heating up for him. Get details of that particular story on page 3 of the Republic Press. Gunfire at Celebrity Golf Club. Hey, really?
Yeah.
3 arrested as police launch manhunt. Oh.
Yes.
Okay, let me not give a lot of things out, but yeah, it happened.
Yeah,
okay.
It did happen.
Former CJ refuses to back down, sues government over dismissal with health benefits. And when you read that particular rate, it tells you a lot more of what she wants. But get the details on page 3 of the paper. Lead suspect in serial robberies and killings of taxi drivers arrested. The story is on page 6 of the paper. Aggressive city strengthening great cost to Ghana, Professor Bokping. Oh, it'll be interesting to read that particular story. And recording your intimate moment is illegal, cybersecurity expert says. Okay, this is the Republic Press. Let's do the back page of the paper. Richard Ofori seeks Black Stars return ahead of World Cup. Hey. Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Richard Ofori. You know Richard Ofori? Okay, anyway. But the story is that Richard Ofori it says, Ghana's goalkeeper Richard Ofori has set his sight on joining the Black Stars squad for next year's 2026 FIFA World Cup in North America. The Amazulu showstopper has featured for Ghana, last featured for Ghana during the 2023 African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast, where the Black Stars suffered an early exit against Mozambique. Was he not the goalkeeper who, when the ball was going to the corner or so, he brought the ball back and then we were scored? Okay, anyway, we'll see.
For such an incident, I do remember him. Was it an accident or an incident?
Hey, Richard Ofori. Anyway, we'll see. Now, inside Postecoglou's 39 days to forget at Forest. Okay, that is about Nottingham Forest in the United Kingdom or in the English Premier League, and their coach. I'm told that there's been some very bad start for him. But get details on the back page of the paper. But this one is of interest to a lot of Ghanaians. Richard, anyway, we'll see. Ghanaian Eye, Institution of Engineering commends tour for use of locals in refinery resuscitation. And I'm always interested in when I hear stories of this, that Ghanaians, because we have them, we have the skills, and being used to do that. Rise to the topmost position as Ugly State invokes blessings on Asiedu in Katia. Engineers and planners finalizes $100 million payment for Azuma Gold acquisition. Ghana Free Zones Authority celebrate 30 years as Ashanti officer seeks to create access for local industries. A lot more stuff.
That's an interesting read on the Ghanaian Eye. Rise to the topmost position as Ugly State invokes blessed on Asiedu Katia. That's the end.
I didn't want to say more.
You didn't. We'll leave it as that. Yeah. There's an interesting story on the Republic Press. It says that recording your intimate moment is illegal.
Yeah.
Recording your intimate moment is illegal, cybersecurity experts. You should take a read. It's on page 6 of the Republic Press.
Okay. let's see, maybe we wrap up the news review and then we do what's coming on online. Okay, let's just do today and then we'll go to online.com.
Okay.
Now, on the front page of today, it says, Parliament to resume sitting tomorrow. And then SHS 2025-2026 academic year, over 500,000 freshers report to school. You got it right there. EOCO frees 26 human trafficking victims. Okay, so that's about the big story there is about senior high school student going to school. If you have not been to school yet, don't worry. Please eat. You will definitely get to school, yeah? Some of us reported to school, I think 1 week or 2 after school had resumed. But you'll still be fine. So.
It explains a lot of things about you, Kojo.
Anyway, I won't comment on that. Let's do my job online. Let's go, and then we can wrap up the news review and hand over to MFA and Prof. Okay, so there you have it there, MFA. Let's go to myjoyonline.com. Of course, I always say it is the CIMG.
What is news review without My Joy Online?
Yeah. You know what? Okay, so when you go to myjoyonline.com, BOG moves to control crypto with new law to take effect by December. So a lot of regulations there to control the market is coming in because crypto, before now, you didn't hear a lot of regulations about it, but we're told that BOG will regulate it. We must stop exporting raw wealth and focus on value addition. BOG governor, speaks. It comes with gold, so I'm sure he's talking in reference to gold. And OSP returns to court with fresh wave of corruption cases. A lot more stories on the myjoyonline.com portal there. Try and get details and a lot more stories on the myjoyonline.com. But let's wrap up with just one last paper and then we go. But on myjoyonline.com, NSMQ 2025,
absolutely,
147 schools pair up for preliminary battles. The list is there. And our team is already in MFI. I always tell you, the beautiful university in Ghana, University of Cape Coast, is where, they are. And we've pitched camp to bring to our viewers all the competitions that will be happening there. You know what? You will have to take a course.
Of course, there is. I should there. That's my father's school, though. He loved it to bits and really wanted me to go there. So Adobia Sare is there on standby. Collins Frimpong is on standby. And of course, Jackie, the queen of NSMQ as well, is on standby. But you want to do the last paper, Daily Guide.
Okay, the Daily Guide, okay. So I'll relocate some key ministries to other regions, Kennedy Agyapong says. So it says when I'm voted for, what we've been talking about, that look, we cannot over-concentrate everything in Accra, so relocate. The past government gave a promise to the people of Western Region that would relocate the GMPC headquarters there. In fact, they built that GMPC headquarters around GSTS. He says that I would improve it by relocating some ministries to other regions. Let's see. At a point, I think they will propose that send the Natural Resources Ministry, for example, to Ashanti region. Send fisheries to maybe Central or Western. But let's see how that particular one goes. Get details of that on page 3 of the newspaper. Mahama to launch $1.5 billion free zones industrial park. EMP is still here, and I'm excited by the EMP because, look, a Ghanaian company, wholly owned Ghanaian company doing this is marvelous in our sight. Hisense donate H60 ultrasound to hospitals. And Heath Goldfield revives Bogostu Pristia mine. Get details of that story on page 3 of the Daily Guide newspaper. Well, MFA, that's all in the reviews of the paper. Let me hand it over to you.
Of course,
I join you. So
you will hand it over and you gently take a seat and then we shall get into the paper shortly. Kwasi Kwarteng, lawyer, lecturer, campaign spokesperson, Ken Agyapong's team as well is joining us via Zoom. But Professor Yamga is right here in the studio. Prof, thank you so much. How's your weekend been?
Traveled and got back, so I just had time to cool down with my family. So
okay,
yeah.
How's the family? Everyone is okay?
They're doing good, and why not?
Okay, how's the authority as well? Quite recently, we read about you taking delivery of some cars and some motorbikes.
Yes.
How is it helping in the fight against illegal money?
At least we got some cars, but we still expect more because improving access to legal mining and also regulating activities of mines across the country is key in our fight against Galamsey. And that is the reason why we have opened almost 75 new area offices across this country. And to operationalize these areas, we need more vehicles. I have been drumming home the need for us to operationalize these offices and allow us to buy cars. I'm going to say that this morning again, that if we do not improve access to legal mining and strengthen the EPA to regulate, even mining entities that are permitted, do activities under the dark, in the dark, and we are not able to get them. And people think that it's only Galamsey that pollutes the waters, but even legal mining does sometimes. And we have a handle on it. We need to expand our reach and make sure that every district you go, you have an EPA office there, and our officers can keep things on track. So I want to urge again, I traveled back with the Deputy Minister of Finance. I mentioned this to him in the plane. I want to call on him that they should get us the authorization to buy vehicles so that we can power these offices. But I'm happy with the progress we are making in the fight against illegal mining. When I saw that comprehensive plan that NIMOS put in place, I knew it was just a matter of time and we'll nail this thing. And that's why I said I'm not afraid to put my integrity on the line that will stop Galamsey. We need to be mindful that it's not Galamsey alone. When I was a kid, I saw mercury. A kid back then, and even in our households, people bring mercury home, and we need to extend the education beyond even illegal mining. I just got some disturbing news sometimes that even in the cities of Accra, people now bring in rocks and other things, and then they are processing gold even in the cities, in their homes. And this could discharge mercury and other banned substances even into the environment. So it's not just the forest that is being destroyed. We all have to be vigilant. Instead of saying, hello, dear Mahama, I think that our caption should be, dear Ghanaians. Albert Einstein said something that I always want to reiterate, that we cannot solve our problems with the mindsets we have when we created them. So we need to change our thinking. We can't solve them with the thinking that it is one person's responsibility to stop illegal mining, when activities around us polluting our waters and endangering all of us, and we think it is convenient to blame the president. The presidency or your home is an extension of the presidency, and we need to see that as our responsibility. If we go this direction, we can help law enforcement, and we can bring this thing on the book.
I'd have been quick to bring Kwasi Kwarteng in, but of course, something has my attention, so I'll stay here a little. Kwasi, please give me a minute. And that's quite a beautiful picture behind you. We'll come to you shortly, and good morning for joining us via Zoom. But Prof, again, so I see that there's a slight concern with this Dear Mahama title. Maybe not for you alone, but I've seen countless a few people as well come and all of that. And it gives yet another opportunity to want to discuss it. Two things. If you vote for a government, what you have essentially done is that you've given your power to the government. I find it hard to come along with the assertion that when I have given you the power, you still think that I still have the power that I have given. Because if I have this in my hands and I've given it to you, I don't have it anymore.
But I cannot question you.
I cannot question you. But also when I give it to you, it means that the power is right at your doorstep to ensure that things are done well. Here's a challenge. Just some days ago, I interviewed the Deputy Director for Minerals Commission. One of my take-homes was that, oh, it is the president and it is his prerogative to take this decision. Oh, it is the president. You realize that government appointees are quick to roll over the responsibilities to the president and say that it is entirely his decision. You know what the president wants to do. We follow his instructions and all of that. He's the president, His Excellency Mahama. And so when we write a letter and we address it to the president, I see the call for Ghanaians, but we can only have one torchbearer who can take the decision for us to follow. Do you see this message as positive or negative?
It depends on what you want to do. The construct is not entirely wrong. The president has no problem with stepping up to his responsibility. But for we those who work in the field every day, and the public is our first line of information, when you tend to overemphasize the presidency, you take away that responsibility that we all have to carry on our shoulders. So I'm not saying the titling is wrong. I'm just saying that it emphasizes things on the president. And somebody may think that it's just the president's responsibility. But I think that illegal mining is our responsibility. People say something that, you see this forest. Illegal mining could be going on inside there, and you wouldn't know. So who will it take to get it? If somebody passing by sees the illegal mining activity and he thinks that, okay, this is not a President Mahama issue, but it is also my responsibility as a Ghanaian to do something, and he decides to maybe call law enforcement, call the EPA, call the Minerals Commission or so. That is how we all move to make the country better. So I'm not saying that the call on the president is completely out of place. I think that the president never sleeps on that. He knows it's his responsibility and he's working on it. I'm only saying that our emphasis on the president takes that need for us as a Ghanaian people to change our psyche. Can you imagine that a river, somebody goes into a river and diverts its course just to mine, and the community has a chief, it has youth, it has people who own the land, and they cover up. And they think it is the responsibility of the president. So these are the things that sometimes I think we need to emphasize on. But yes, I agree that it is the president's responsibility. The law empowers him to appoint all of us and give us the resources and the mandate we need to fight this, which we are doing. But we are saying that this thing calls for more education, more enlightenment. It is a reorientation of our consciousness. I think that if a lot of us were awake to our responsibility and our consciousness, this cannot happen. This is a national problem, not a one person. That is why I want to
we understand, but Prof, you know that the reason why we make laws is that when you leave us human beings alone to do whatever, we will do what benefits us, right? Those people in those communities they are benefiting from this. So if you want to leave them to do what is right, they will do at their own convenience. We understand everybody has a role to play, but the ultimate responsibility lies with the commander-in-chief of the Ghanaian forces, not so.
And I have told you, I have seen the 9 months operation. I have been working with it, and it is one of the most elaborate systems for fighting illegal mining. The fact is that there is a lot of noise so that you don't even get the time to explain what 9 months is all about. But I'm saying that what the president is supposed to do at his end is being done. I'm saying that things like this, the emphasis should not be on the president. The emphasis should be on us as Ghanaians. The consciousness that allow things like this to continue. How do we train our children?
Anyway.
We'll note this, we'll come back to this and probably explain how difficult it is to allow the people to want to do right. Because over the years, illegal mining has been happening for years, and we're the same people who have been doing it. If we're asking the same people who are engaging in the act to be quite responsible, I'm not sure we'll get any results. But anyway, Kwasi Kwarteng, thank you for joining us this morning. How's your campaign going? I see in front of the newspapers, Kojo, you just gave us one of the highlights that Kennedy Agyapong says that he will relocate some key ministries to other regions. Which one of these ministries is he targeting to relocate?
Don't worry. Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you for asking.
Okay, I want to briefly touch on Prof's submission before I even move to my campaign, because Galamsey fights first before our campaign. If after our campaign, all our water bodies are destroyed, and the people
there won't be any Ghanaian too.
we are all dying from Galamsey polluted waters. I mean, certainly there will not be any Ghana for Kennedy Agyapong to come around. So let me briefly touch on the campaign. I'm very surprised that for the first time I'm hearing Prof saying that now Galamsey should be a shared and collective fight, and that all of us should be responsible for it. Please, we want to state it clearly that no Ghanaian is going to take the responsibility of fighting Galamsey. Let President Mahama and the NDC do and take that responsibility. When just a few months ago, you people weaponized the fight against Galamsey, we kept reminding you, kept telling you that let's stop weaponizing the fight against Galamsey and find a holistic approach of addressing it. You didn't mind us. You said it was an Akufo-Addo problem, and that Akufo-Addo and his appointees were the ones behind Galamsey, and that when Akufo-Addo is removed from office, all of a sudden there will be a certain miracle that will come and restore our water bodies, and there will be nothing like Galamsey. Today, Akufo-Addo is no longer there. His government has been jettisoned, suffered the humiliating defeat ever. Obviously, also by the collaboration of the weaponization that you all did. Today, the media is holding the person who led that charge into account. He said, you don't want to redefine the editorial policy for Joy. No, nobody is going to define the editorial policy for Joy. Joy, be firm, we are with you, we are in opposition, and do what you always do right. At no point should anybody define the editorial policy for any television station. It should even go beyond Dear Mahama MB, Dear Mahama, and Dear NDC. In page 76 of your manifesto, that bridge form, you listed a whole points and approaches how you are going to address Galamsey. This was not a manifesto that was drafted by Ghanaians. It was drafted by the NDC. It was signed and assented to by President Mahama. So please, take your responsibility. If you need us to come and help you, fair deal, we will all come and help you to fight Galamsey. Galamsey is not a Ghanaian problem. It's a political problem, like you made us to believe. It was an Akufo-Addo problem, and nothing is going to extricate you from being Mohammed's problem. It is
I have a
Mohammed's
question for you, though, Kwasi Kwarteng.
Yes,
I have a question for you, because then, well, beyond the putting people on notice that people shouldn't try to, reshape our editorial policy, that's quite appreciated. But if a matter becomes a national concern, and then a political party genuinely used that as a campaign against the other political party, and then the matter becomes a real, genuine concern for a country, should we allow the other political party who has gone into a position to say that, well, of course not, because you used it as a campaign tool, we're going to allow you to do all the job? For example, when HIV was on the rise, AIDS Commission was doing what they had to do. But as well, media houses, individuals, everybody would call on Ghanaians. I'm not using that same analogy here, but I'm asking because I see this effort of parties when they go to opposition, even when it is clear that they can ask the government to do what is right, they are quick to remind the political party a campaign promise. And politics is politics. Why must it come to play when we have real issues to solve?
No, don't worry. I have an answer for you. So what are you expecting from the opposition government? That we will give orders to the military to go and stop Galamsey in terms of the enforcement?
No, let me rephrase the question. What I'm saying is that when I hear opposition say that, well, when you were in opposition and you were campaigning, you said it was the Akufo-Addo government's problem. So no Ghanaian is going to help solve the problem. It should be the NDC's problem. Are you saying this?
MFA, let me be very honest with you. We are not going to be apologetic with that. For 8 consistent years, when we kept reminding Ghanaians, the NDC, including you, the media, you all pretended it was an Akufo-Addo problem. How many times did we victimize Akufo-Addo, demonize him that it was an Akufo-Addo problem?
How so? Just a minute ago, you were saying that Joy has always done what is right. A minute ago, then you were saying that we pretended.
No, but I'm saying that I am reminding even you of, even in doing what is right, what you also did. It included all what I'm talking about. I'm saying that, including even in the media, it was so narrow that it was an Akufo-Addo problem. I'm saying that what has changed? What has changed in just a couple of months? That right now it's become a national problem, and that we should reorientize the people and reconscientize them. I am saying that nobody is going to help anybody conscientize anybody. The fight against Galamsey has nothing to do with conscientization. It has everything to do with enforcement. They mentioned that there were politically exposed persons who made the fight very difficult. We avail ourselves. If there are still politically exposed persons from the NPP, they should arrest everybody and prosecute them. Until then, nobody should then try to generalize it. I mean, it's a PR standard they are doing. Try to generalize it, make it more nationalistic, share responsibility, and run away from responsibility. Nobody is going to allow that. It is a Mahama problem. He's the president of Ghana. It is an NDC problem. They are in power. They should fix it. That's all what we want.
Great.
We don't care. So anybody expect the MPP to do what? We are demanding accountability from them.
Okay. Kwasi, please give me a minute.
Before he moves on, there's a quote. This is from the Daily Graphic online. It says, regarding illegal mining, Mr. Mahama stated that he would address the issue as president, but emphasized that it was currently President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's responsibility. Quote, you are currently the president of Ghana, and it is your responsibility to deal with Galamsey now. After January 7, 2025, when Ghanaians have elected me, I will take responsibility and sort out illegal mining, he said at a rally in Ngo Pram Pram. So
that's very awesome.
We are not running away from the responsibility, and we are owning the problem. Even though we didn't create the problem, we are owning it and we are preferring solutions.
Now, what's your business inviting people?
No, we didn't.
created the problem?
Some they sat here. You see, I didn't want to go down this line, but people sat here, and 7,500 hectares of our forest got degraded, got polluted. If I want to go down the line of let me tell you where the mud is coming from. Yes, the mud is coming from what we came to meet. That the day we entered office, all the 5,500 hectares, the 7,500 football fields that were degraded, they are the ones producing the mud we are seeing. And you don't have to sit down and say that we own that. Your chairman mined gold from those ones and put them on the displayed it on TV. You have to own it. That criminal destruction of our forest is your responsibility. We own the problem. And I'm telling you something. I'm putting my integrity on the line here. That you can imagine that when you are talking, I didn't interject. I think I deserve that
come
respect.
to you. You'd have your time.
I deserve that respect. When you are talking, I didn't interject. I'm saying that we take responsibility. And just like when President Mahama got the 8th position and you had no campaign message, I will tell you here that we'll tackle Galamsey and you have no message to do. Because I see what we are doing and all the media noise we are making. We have stayed focused on our plan. That is first looking at deploying advanced technology to monitor illegal mining. Second, strengthening regulatory frameworks, and also doing all we can to disrupt the supply chains so that there are no inputs going into illegal mining, and the proceeds from illegal mining is not going back into the pockets of those who are financing it. And we are going on the third leg with ensuring that there is responsible corporate social mining, training of young people, and those who actually even want to mine. We are trying to look at whether we can operationalize some of these old mines that we think still there are some economic prospects and move them there, give them the training so that they can do responsible mining. Once we do all these things, we are very certain that we will stem the side of the pollution. When you are fighting Galamsey, there are two angles you have to look at it. You have to cut the pollution, and then you have to clean. There must be those policy enablers that change our mindsets from degradation to regeneration and restoration. And that is what we are doing. So once we stop the side of the pollution, we also talk of cleaning the mess that you people left behind. When I talk about 5,500, I'm looking at the greater Accra region.
Which one are you talking about? 7,500 or 5,000?
Hectares, 5,500 hectares. 7,500 football fields. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
If you
in the last 8 years.
Yes, but by January, when we came into power, that quantum of this map, our map, had been degraded.
I get it, but
so if you sit down here and say we should own it, it's like we shouldn't talk about the fact that you criminally destroyed the forest.
Is it the understanding that these acres or hectares of land were destroyed during their time, 8 years alone?
I'm saying that by the time the President Mahama came in, 5,500 hectares of forest. I'm not even talking about other areas of forest reserves
but the beginning of
had been destroyed.
Said day, so it means that happened during that time. That's why I wanted clarification.
I said something, and somebody was. I said illegal mining. I said when I was a kid, I saw mercury. I said that right here. So it means that at least some degree of it was going on. Okay. But it was weaponized, it was mechanized, it became a means of revenue. Your own people were going around saying that if we stop illegal mining, we'll lose elections. Meanwhile, you lost the elections because of the misgovernance, the corruption, and the raping of this country,
but
not
in
illegal mining. You lost across even where there wasn't even
but in 2016,
so you are saying that you lost because of
illegal mining. But in 2016,
can I respond?
You will, Kwasi, you will. Okay. You will.
Very well.
Yeah, be calm as the photo behind you this morning. Okay, so, but in 2016 as well, if you look at the CDD report and if you look at other factors that many have said contributed to the loss of the NDC, Galamsey took prominence in there as well.
I don't sweep the problem under the carpet. And I said, even when I was a kid, I saw mercury. Okay, that means that illegal mining has been going on for a long time. President Mills is on record to have talked that illegal mining is our problem. So there is no one who runs away from the fact that it has been a practice that has been existing. It has been largely driven by pickaxe and then some hammer. And then it got to a point that when some powerful party chairman got into it, they brought bulldozers and chamfangs, and that actually escalated the extent to which we're destroying these our
so
forests.
you say
and
that
I'm saying that it has been a problem. No Ghanaian can run away from it. But these people own the huge expanses. The diversion of river bodies and mining in riverbeds were done under them. Kwasi Kwarteng talking here. They started it under your watch.
Kwasi.
So don't put it on President Mahama. President Mahama is facing this square on, and we will tackle Galamsey. But we will not run away from the fact that you people caused the problem and you own the problem.
Kwasi,
we own the solution.
let's allow Kwasi to respond. Kwasi, yes, proceed.
You see, let me be unapologetic here. If I'm President Mahama watching JoyNews today, I would have sacked the professor in your studios. You see, his understanding of the Galamsey problem. His understanding is how to politically equalize. MPP did this, MPP did that, MPP did that. Name tags, labeling. All the problems in the Galamsey were organized, engineered, implemented by MPP. Your job is not to find who caused Galamsey.
You started it. I made my first submission. Did I mention it?
Respect.
You started it.
Respectfully, Professor, let me proceed. Your job is not to identify who caused Galamsey and
you
give
can't
us
teach me my job. I'm doing my
how
job.
to fix it. Prof, please, it's too early. You see Galamsey, how jittery you are. I endured this for 4 years. I was always in the studio, also having to be in your position. Just some few months, you are shivering. Endure it. My point is that if I was President Mahama today, I would have sacked you.
No.
Because your duty is to face Galamsey. Your duty is not to identify who caused it and who now equalize and try to compare how MPP destroyed and how NDC destroyed. What we need is the solutions and the measures that you've been able to put in place so far, and not to give us lectures on how to solve Galamsey. We are tired about the frameworks on how to solve Galamsey.
But if the act is illegal, how can't the person try to find who caused it?
Ask him.
If the act in itself is illegal, why won't the current government be interested in finding who caused it?
MF, I've been doing this job for some time, so certainly I should be able to provide you answer with it. I am saying that if he knows who caused it, the law courts are there. There are criminal justice procedures to mete out some sanctions. He should take advantage of it and then profess sanctions to them. But as at now, I am not sure they've been able to successfully prosecute even 5 individuals. MFA, to be very honest, it's to be very disingenuous and dishonest on my part to pretend that people in the MPP or under administration there was nothing like Galamsey. There was, and obviously is more or less like a human phenomenon. It's a social problem. So even in NDC and the MPP under any administration will have it. But I'm saying that how he understands it is going to be difficult and complex for him to solve the problem. Instead of seeing it as a criminal activity, an illegal activity, and stopping it, he is now trying to apportion blame, as though when MPP left power, because we were the ones doing it, everything ended now. Today, there is still Galamsey. Galamsey is ongoing. I am reminding him that his job as a professor in charge of fixing Galamsey is to give us update on what he has done, not lectures on how we are going to solve Galamsey. We are tired with the lectures. We are tired with the policy frameworks. We'll do this, and when we finish the next phase, we'll do this, and we think it should be this. No, we are not interested in that. Put the question to him. That's why I don't suggest it to him. Put it to him that what have they done to solve Galamsey up till now? He's talking about getting cars. As of now, we are now talking about getting cars to be able to fight Galamsey. And now subtly even appealing to your finance minister on TV. Go to him, visit his office. That is not how we run offices. You don't sit on TV and make appeals that you need cars to go and fight Galamsey. We need pragmatic measures. We need updates on solutions so far. We need updates on the steps that we have taken so far. Yes, we admit. You can even blame the MPP for every Galamsey in Ghana. But as at now, MPP is still not in office. That is why we are saying that fix it. It is your problem. As at now, it is your watch. We don't care who caused it. If it is Kwasi Kwarteng, I was involved, take me through the due process. But as at now, our water bodies are being destroyed. We are not so much interested in the stories and the blame games again. Fix it. That's our message for you this morning. Fix it.
Okay, it'll be a good time to talk about the ministries that you are looking to relocate outside of Accra.
Yes. As for that, I'm going to do it calmly because this. So our position is that, I mean, to be very honest, Ghana's development is currently trapped in Accra, and if you go to most of the other regional capitals, it's either underdeveloped and economically inactive. For instance, when you visit regional capitals like Wa, Bogatanga, Damango, Techima, and Koforidua, it's almost like a ghost town or ghost cities. It's almost silent, no economic activities going on during the day, literally. And there is little economic activity, few corporate jobs. Very often, you realize that some of the commercial jobs are also not there. And for me and Kennedy Agyapong as a person, we are of the view that this is not how a country grows. Kennedy Agyapong is therefore proposing a bold reset to take government. And of course, I mean, that's why I agree with Prof. That's why we need a reset. Proposing a bold reset to take government to the people. And so instead of running Ghana from one overcrowded point, the city of Accra, with high traffic, high rent, floods also going up, youth employment. Meanwhile, other towns and other cities are also undeveloped. Kennedy plans to relocate some of the key ministries and their agencies to some of these regions. Of course, in doing that, you also have to consider and match it with its natural strength. For instance, if you are looking at, say, fisheries, you may be looking at central region. If you are looking at, say, food and agriculture, with arable land in the northern part of Ghana, you may also be concentrating there. For instance, if you are looking at energy, western region, we are already mining oil there, so you may also take advantage of that. For instance, tourism may also have to be situated in the Volta region, for your region. So we are also considering you. So we are of the view that when ministries move, money, jobs, and decisions also move, and each relocation creates a new ecosystem where you have contractors, hotels, schools, tech services, local industries, and it's all chain of reaction for regional growth. And so what we are saying is not just about new offices, but it's about economics. It's not the usual politics, but it's about making every region also matter again. Then we are able to intertrade, boost tourism. People naturally move and travel from one region to the other, invest in them. Then we are able to ensure that there is indeed balanced development across all regions. Opportunity will spread across all regions. And then we are able to indeed alleviate poverty and move our nation forward. So that is Kennedy Agyapong's understanding of practical decentralization. And of course, I mean, he's still talking to the delegates, he's appealing to the delegates that when he get the opportunity to become the flag bearer, and of course, subsequently, by the grace of God, the president of this country, 2020, since we are very damn sure that NDC is going to fail the fight against Galamsey, and obviously the regime change will also come in. Kennedy will come and then decentralize our ministries, create more jobs, move a lot of people, the young people in Galamsey, into these jobs within the various regions and the regional capitals. And of course, then also ensure that there is strong compliance and enforcement when it comes to the fight against Galamsey. They will be able to do that as a country. We will make significant strides as a people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, Prof.
I just want to.
Prof is in the development space.
I just want to make a quick input that I sat here and you all saw the number of vehicles we got. I only asked for more. So I was at the commissioning of those vehicles, standing beside the Honorable Amabua to commission them. And I must commend the government for the agility it has shown in resourcing and retooling us. I'm only saying that we need more because I feel that we need to expand, and that is also happening. I can't sit here and allow Honorable Kwasi Kwarteng to make it feel like we are sitting now and not doing anything. But I will let that slide. I don't want to waste my time.
I'm sorry for setting you up.
You are talking and I'm doing, so talk is cheap. So I'll allow you to have your day. But let me go straight to the point that this is an idea that we drummed several years ago. If you go to my Facebook wall, you see this idea there. So it's nothing new about decentralizing ministries. That is something that people are doing. The only problem I have here is that if we want to look at the track record of the people promising, I think there is, and I can't prove it, I don't speak Twi very well, but it says that if somebody wants to say he's going to give you clothes, say, tomorrow, you ask his name, exactly. The MPP have been very good at promising. They promise everything. They seem to think very well when they are in opposition, and they suggest we do this, we do this. But you see, there is no substance to your promise if your integrity is questionable. And we just have to look at your promises in the last 8 years versus what you deliver. And we even have to be very careful that if you give us whole gold in your hand and say, take this is gold, we'll be asking ourselves whether we can trust the one saying that it is gold, because you have no credibility as far as delivery is concerned. So I don't want to move into the menace of a policy that we have driven over again. I think way back in 2004, I was saying this, that we needed to decentralize the ministry so that people get to know their country. Everybody comes to Accra because all the ministries are here. If the Ministry of Agriculture was in my hometown, Zuarungu, people get to know that. If the Ministry of Forestry were in the Western region, you won't have people go to school here, finish university, travel abroad, and they've not been there. And you won't have also people coming in and landing in Accra, and then everybody staying in Accra. You see a lot of development spreading. So naturally, it's a way to ease it. But it is easier said than done, given the historical concentration of the activities in Accra. It will take a lot to do that. But with technology, yes, I think it is a good idea to look at that again. But the problem is the MPP has never delivered anything that they have promised. Even if they give you the thing, when you open it, you realize that it is packaged to loot and rape the state. And that is another idea loading. That is another idea loading. So I can't trust the MPP on their delivery. Yes, it's a good idea. I will buy into it. I'm not like Kwasi Kwarteng, who doesn't give credit where it is due. I think that this is something I will support any day. Just that they don't have the ability to deliver. That is the truth.
If it becomes a priority to them, just as it looks like, because if you listen to his explanation, it looks like it will be a priority for that government to do. They did the same with free SHS and they delivered. Why
they did the same with one district, one factory. Have you seen the factories? They did the same with one village, one dam. Have you seen the dams? And they did the same 1 million every constituency. Go and ask the constituencies whether they have seen $1,000 before. They are all promising. Bagumia is there promising meetings every year. It's their trademark to talk. Talk is cheap. When they create a problem, we come to solve. Look at the economy today. Look at what the IMF is saying about Ghana's economy. We do all these things in the unfortunate peradventure, and that's going to be a long, several years to come. But if one day we're out of power, you see what they'll come and do. They'll take us back to the IMF, run this country bankrupt, lose elections, only for us to come and build again. That has been the cycle of the Fourth Republic. And it's unfortunate that they destroy, we build, they destroy, we recover. It is a problem. He are promising no concrete plan behind it. It's just talk. And but eventually they'll come and tell you.
How does an MPP flag bearer aspirant promising relocating some ministries from Accra to other regions, because I think that, of course, it will boost the economic of that particular area. And you say as well.
I mean, I said
how can that amount to
that? But I'm saying that it's the integrity. Breaking, they can't do it.
But the person promising, on what track record are you judging him?
Promising has been one of the longest serving MPs in this country. Where was he? Has he promised? Has he spoken about that in Parliament? You just need to look at what he has been doing over the years. He is known for sitting on TV and taking down his opponents, people who have won contracts and defeated him in a bid. He's gone to his radio station and talked them down and ripped them apart. So that is what he's noted for, not following up through policy. Give me one policy that you remember Kennedy Agyapong forcefully articulating in the floor of Parliament. Give you all his years. So why should I want to take?
We have to go for the Hansard to do this.
Yeah, you're a journalist. Go do it. Go do it.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. Kwasi is here. He probably
go do it. He should tell me. He should show me where he has advocated a policy like this.
While I think that
he has served in Parliament.
While I think that the role of a member of Parliament is nearly, or is quite far-fetched from that of a president. But Kwasi is here, and I don't speak for Kwasi.
Speak about it. Put it on the floor of Parliament.
I will tell you what Kennedy Agyapong has done. There is no greater policy than creating jobs. His current factory, which is the rubber factory, currently employs about 360 people. Out of it, 300 of them are our brothers and sisters from the north. His own brothers sitting there. Ask him how many as a northerner he has been able to create jobs for his own people. Aside being a
don't go there,
I'm asking you, what
I say don't go there. Go and check my track record. I'm saying just go and check my. I don't have a fraction of what Kennedy Agyapong have, but you go and mention my name in Northern Ghana, and they'll tell you what I do.
How many jobs have you created?
I'm saying you just go and check my track record. You go check. Just go and ask anybody about Professor Ayamga. They'll tell you what I'm doing.
No,
don't go there. Don't just go there. I don't have the millions he has, but what I have done. You go to Northern Ghana and check.
We don't expect you to do what
I do. I do because I'm a human being. I don't need to take from the state to brag. I've been doing it from my own pocket.
Okay.
We expect that you do something which is reasonable and proportionate. That at his level, he has been able to create 7,000 jobs. His last factory has employed our brothers and sisters from the north. Your own people, about 300 of them, just currently. How have you been able to help your own people? Sitting there as a deputy EPA boss. So, if you want to do the politics this morning, we'll engage you. I mean, we don't have any job.
Kwasi, I think you can make the point without questioning the guest. I think you can make the point. You can tell me what Kennedy Agyapong has done.
No, to be very honest, it's not a question.
I know he takes pleasure. He wants to check my track record. It's there online. Go and check it.
No, you are
go and check it. If you go and check my track record, you come and eat back your own words. I can give you that on as a promise. I can tell you that on authority, that if you go and check my track record in Tamale that I am from, in Bolgatanga or in Zwarungu, you eat back your words.
Prof, you're not running for president.
I'm not running for president, and I'm doing so. He should defend his not try to take me on.
You keep interrupting me. You
are taking me on as if I'm running for president. He is running for president. Is that not so?
You don't need to run for president before you impart your people.
And I am doing it. I am doing it. I said I have been doing it even when I was a lecturer.
Now I've turned a research assistant. You let me proceed. I am saying that I won't do your research for you. But what I'm saying is that when you are on live TV, and now as a deputy CEO, you now becomes a father for all. You are not necessarily representing the NDC alone because it's not NDC's money that is being used to pay you. We pay taxes to you. We pay taxes to the government, and as a CEO, you are supposed to represent everybody. Now, most importantly, are you suggesting that because we lost an election, we cannot criticize you? We losing an election does not necessarily mean that we lost our citizenship. We are going to criticize you, put fire on your feet every day, now and then.
You are welcome.
So be ready for more. But our point is that when we talk about Kennedy Agyapong undertaking a new policy, of course, MFR rightly answered you that it's not the duty of parliamentarians to be proposing policy. Those are the duties of cabinet. But at the end of the day, I'm saying that if there is any greater policy that Kennedy has been able to implement, is the policy of jobs. He's created jobs across the country. And that is what he's going to do when he gets the opportunity to also serve as a president. As to trying to undermine his track record, I'm not sure that even requires a response. Kennedy Agyapong has been noted for his consistency and his track record of being bold, being honest, being patriotic, and always being a doer. Anything Kennedy Agyapong says, he does it. So when Kennedy says, I'm going to decentralize ministries, and he said there is no implementation plan, I suggest to you that the first 100 days, Kennedy Agyapong is going to establish a national decentralization task force. This is not just a policy that we've just thrown it out. We've indeed researched into it. Within the first 1 to 2 years, Kennedy Agyapong is going to pilot relocations and digital integration. The next 3 to the 4th year, the 3rd to the 4th year, there will be full regional build-out and infrastructure expansion. And from the 5th to the 6th year, there will be a review. We'll optimize and institutionalize the new governance model. So don't think we just put it out there. If we want a policy framework right after a year, Prof, I'll be glad to share with you. And it's not a policy just born out of something. And in any event, if Kennedy just said it, he has to give birth to the policy and the idea. And at the end of the day, people like you, professors like you, will then have to shape it up. Mostly all over the world, in the developed countries, if we go to Asia, the Asian Miracle model, anywhere that governance has been able to transform the fortunes or the socio-economic fortunes of the country, usually it takes one person to bring the idea, then it's refined. So we also we extend an invitation to you that in terms of the policy implementation, we need you on board to refine it, help implement it, and I assure you that this is the non-monetary policy. It's going to stimulate growth in the other regions, make sure that we indeed choke Greater Accra and make sure that the other regions also develop. And maybe you may even be able to take it up so that you start the piloting when Kennedy Agyapong, by the grace of God, gets the opportunity to also come and implement it fully. At least you will be done we would have been done with the first 1, 2, 3 years. Then we also proceed from it. Thank you.
Well, Kwasi, so my news editor had just visited Presec, and I'm coming to you because you were at the Ministry of Education for a while. This didn't make the headlines, but symptoms of it made the headlines on the newspapers when Kujo was just giving us the headlines, and it's about the computerized school selection and placement system. So the Education Minister has just visited Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, and he's been revealing that the computerized school selection and placement system is under review, and says that the system as it is now is unfair, and that there's a committee that's been set up to review it. I mean, you played a key role when you were at the Ministry of Education. Does this come to you as a surprise, and what would you have to say about it?
The CSSPS system is unfair. Well, for me, with my experience there, I have one philosophy that when it comes to the 5% protocol allocation, that is why I believe it should be scrapped. Everything should be automated. I don't think it's an unfair system. I don't think also in terms of the placement policy a lot has changed. Even though I am very much aware that they've replaced the previous vendor, BK Grant, with their own people, which is, I mean, normal in the kind of politics that we do. But in terms of the policy framework, the placement policy, a lot has not changed. In terms of the automatic placement, it has always been merit-based. It is only the protocol allocation, the 5% protocol that is given to the schools and the 5% ministry that personally I've always been against it. Give equal opportunities, run all of them on automated basis. If students get it and they are not interested in the schools that the computer has matched up with their selection, they may have the opportunity to also exploit private education, which may be some few number. For instance, let's say 1% outside let's say usually the 500,000 people that are always placed. So I genuinely think there is equity, there is fairness. Of course, maybe they may be looking at the ones that is given to the public schools. You know, there is also some 30% quota that is also given to the public schools in terms of placement slots in the category A schools. But that is more or less an affirmative action, and I also do not see that as an unfair placement procedure. It's also a fair placement procedure because, I mean, these are people who are coming from deprived, underserved, mostly urban communities where they also need to be supported to also take up placement in some of these category A schools. So, by and large, I believe it's about 90-95% fair process, merit-based process. My only issue has to do with if we, as a country, we are bold to remove the protocol system, because it just allow a whole lot of human discretion. That is where the unfairness really sits. And if I were the minister today, I would make that bold decision that there is nothing like protocol system in it. It's all automatically placed. Because it's the protocol system that sometimes allows somebody to get 12 and may not get precisely well. But then another person will get 30 because he has association with the minister or has an association with a school head. Then they are able to place such a person over a person who did well. So the problem is with the protocol system, which if left for me, they should scrap it and make everything automated. Aside that, I see if much has not been changed in the placement policy, I see it to be a merit-based process.
Prof.
And I think there's also a complaint about students didn't pick a school and they were placed there.
Yes.
In the automatic placement, I'll find it very surprised to believe. And not because the NDC is in government, so I should run it down. No, in the automatic, because it's just brand based on the algorithm and it's based on your input. So a lot of times parents do not take interest in the selection processes. So when students are placed, they then make a U-turn and say, oh, we didn't select there. So mostly request for their placement, their selection form and their placement form.
Kwasi, as for this one, I have it here. Now the boy selected, I think 7 schools: Cape Coast Technical, Secondary Takrady Technical Institute, Takwa Technical, Takrady Community Technical Institute, Esipon Technical Institute, Abra Technical Institute, Axim Technical. But when he was being placed, he was placed at St. Mary's Boys Senior High School, Agyapong.
No, it is wrong. It is wrong. From the placement policy that I knew and was used to, it's wrong. If students do not select, you don't place them. You have to match them to any of the schools that they selected. But like I indicated, when they came into power, they changed the vendor. So I am not so much certain with the kind of placement policies that they've now made. Maybe they were only looking at trying to place everybody. But ordinarily, if students do not select, you have to give them opportunity themselves to select once again. There was a more reason why our time, if you are not matched with any school, we let you go to the self-placement portal where you then, place yourself based on your own arrangements and how you what you want. So it shouldn't have been done, and that one I think is wrong, if you ask me.
Maybe just before a quick one, I wanted to chip in something about the decentralization of ministries. And I wanted to say the key thing in that is to actually decentralize the opportunities. The movement of a ministry just in name doesn't count. And if you look at even your own daily analysis here, it has Mahama launches 1.5 billion industrial park at Gomor Central.
Yes, yes.
That is the concept already in motion here, taking huge investment and huge opportunities outside from.
But the two are not the same.
No, you see, you can either decentralize. You can either decentralize a ministry, or you can decentralize what happens in the ministry. There are two things.
Are they the same?
They are not the same, but the goal can be achieved easier with this. It's easier to do this because of the synergies between ministries. It's not easy to move them. That's why I said it's easier said than done. But you are already seeing a system where there is targeted geographical emphasis on development and spreading the opportunities across this country so that people in Gomor Central, for example, in the Gomor areas now, are going to benefit from 60,000 jobs. It's the same idea that he was arguing. I'm not saying what he's saying is wrong. I'm saying that that is another variant of it that is already being implemented. There's nothing wrong with
that. Relocating ministries is different from...
No. That's why I'm saying that sometimes you can relocate a ministry, but it doesn't actually bring the benefits you want. If you take a ministry to the, let's say, the Upper East, but then you bring what the ministry is doing, let's say, still in Accra, the benefits, you are just going to have people working there. Okay. But the benefits doesn't generate. If you take the opportunities, if you take the policies down to the people, that's where the benefits are coming. I'm saying that, yes, locate ministry is one, but what is currently happening under the 24 economy, which the president went to launch, brings immediate benefits, which I think that is something we shouldn't sweep under the carpet. It's worth talking about.
So you mentioned 24 economy. What is the update?
Yeah, that is what you see. The difference between the 24-hour economy and what we used to know in the past is that there is an elaborate strategy behind 24 economy, and you see it being rolled out systematically. And that is why we said we launched, President Mahama launched this 1.5 billion industrial park under the 24-hour economy. Maybe the newspaper is lying before you, Kwasi. Maybe read it, you see it. So that is within the same framework.
So you say we're going to create jobs. So if I'm an ordinary Ghanaian, my focus will be how many jobs he's been able to create now. Because you're talking about some 3 shifts, 1 job in a day. That's what I'm interested in.
You see,
but you were talking.
I don't want to go down that line, but I was telling somebody yesterday that before I left the university, I was a director of a center, so at the level of a dean, I had a lot of allowances. But if I was just at the level of an associate professor, my salary was around 16,000. It was worked several years to peg it at about 1,500. You know, when I was leaving, what my salary was worth? $600. Today, that same salary, because of the prudent management of the economy, that 16,000 is above $1,000 again. So that is what we are talking about here. If you want to measure the impact of the economic performance of this government on the Ghanaian citizens, that is how you need to look at it. The same analogy can be applied to teachers, can be applied to security services, and so on. That is what we mean by actually delivering on the low-hanging fruit, that is improving the economy, so that people who even are earning as little as possible can find a livelihood. The next step is to actually create fiscal jobs by boosting industry, which we are also beginning to do. I don't want to be distracted to talk about that because I was only saying that the idea that Kennedy Agyapong has mentioned, which I know he won't be able to do because he's not even going to win in the first place, is already being done by President.
If you think
their system is rigged for one person, he knows it. He doesn't want, their system is rigged for one person to win, which as an NDC member, I'm very happy bringing him again. But having said that...
We will disappoint you. Dr. Bawumia will not come. We will not give you a week.
Did I mention Bawumia? I didn't mention Bawumia.
But Prof, you mentioned something that when you were leaving, your salary was $600.
I'm saying that it was pegged at 1,000 at the time they were negotiating.
Yeah.
But by the time I was leaving, let's say an associate professor at the time, you would have gotten around 16,000 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
Because of the depreciation of the dollar, it had come down almost to 600-700.
How so? How did you...
Yeah, because the dollar was way stronger. So my 16,000.
The dollar was, say, even if you peg the dollar at 16.
When it was 17, 18, I was down around $600-700. That's what I mean.
It was $941.
But that was supposed to be 1,005. Yeah. That was the idea. Now today it is gone up there because of the. Yes, the semantics is just there to tell you that at least just by improving the economy, strengthening the city, with fixed incomes, people are witnessing improved disposable income. That is all I'm just saying here.
Okay.
So it's not just the fiscal creation of the jobs that matters. It is the hardship that people who are even working are enduring. That is a challenge. And that problem is being addressed by improving the general economy. That is all I was just driving home here.
Okay.
But I haven't said that. I think that we need to commend the Minister of Education for managing the placement system. Review is a normal thing. Any point in time, you can review things. So I don't want to politicize the issue of the computerized placement system. Yes, it had problems. The idea of changing the vendor also allows a new face to come in. There is nothing politics about it by saying that we have replaced him with our own person. That is, I think, quite disingenuous.
Hey, Rob, you respond to everything. Hey.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that we try to improve it by reviewing it. And review is a normal thing that anybody who seeks improvement should do. So I would like to commend the Minister of Education for actually managing this thing, successfully placing 500,000 students and they reporting to school. Happy that they are not going to be met there with gari in water without sugar and pepper, but that some of them would be fed. Happy that they are not going to be calling their parents to come and give them food, sending SOS messages there, but they will actually be fed in the school. We need to commend His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for ensuring that the destruction of our education system, the PR free SHS we had, has now been replaced with a real free SHS where the kids are in school and they will be fed. That is something we need to drive home. And I wish I was talking about that here. That there was an editorial of the fact that the feeding in the schools have significantly improved, and we are not going to send our kids there to go and get malnourished, fall sick, and probably become problematic for us. We need to commend that bold initiative. But hey, yes,
but you don't need to commend the one who brought the policy.
I have never condemned free SHS. I only said there was a lot of PR politics in it that you couldn't even talk about the frailties in the policy. Senior secondary, Charles was always afraid to mention the challenges. They don't have food, they won't talk about it, because people felt that if you say there was something wrong with the free SHS, it's like insulting their forefathers.
Oh, I hosted a round table here in the studio.
I know, but you know,
Charles and all of that.
You know what I'm talking about. But you know what I'm talking about. Teacher, you ask teachers, they will tell you the freedom they have today, the things they can report today, they couldn't do them. They had performance contracts.
That's interesting because the PTA, the General Secretary to the PTA, was in the studio some weeks ago and had serious challenges about what the current government intends to want to do that the previous government attempted to do that they found not worthy. And this time around, they have seen that the current government has contracted.
We are trying to do them better.
But if the people you're doing better say that that's not what they want.
I say we are trying to do them better by saying that first, admit that the feeding in the schools have improved. Admit that you said it here, that the placement system has some small challenges, but was largely successful, which I want to point. I have proven to you that me even sitting here, my colleagues back in the university with the improved economy are happier than they were somewhere this time last year.
I think now the headmasters have been given the opportunity to buy.
So that is what we should be talking about here. It's not me saying it. It is the system telling us what is going on. And I said, as for the review of the thing, whether it's even working well or not, review is a normal process, and it's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Professor Ayamga, for joining us here. Professor Ayamga is Deputy CEO of the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. Lawyer Kwasi Kwarteng is a lecturer and a campaign spokesperson for the Ken Agyapong campaign team. A friend of mine, Bernard Yankee, in Ahanta always wanted me to tell Kwasi that is listening to you. So Kwasi, a friend, Bernard Yankee, is in Kejeburi in Ahanta West. He says hi and he sends his regards.
Is he a delegate?
But, Bernard, I'm sure Kwasi knows it. But let us not go there. I'm sure Kwasi.
Because I want to know whether he's a delegate. That's all I'm just asking.
Maybe you vote for us. That's the most important thing.
Maybe Kwasi knows. But let's take it to Cape Coast.
Of course, we want to say thank you to both of you for joining us for the news review. And we say, of course, all the best on your journey to hopefully becoming the flag bearer for the party. And Professor, well, thank you for joining us in the studio. Next time when I meet you, we're going to have that conversation about the Professor Kluche saying that the minerals in the forest reserves, we can mine it responsibly. Yes. And with Parliament resuming, that ally is nearly going to be revoked. Yes. And I want to see how you're finding a balance to that next time when we meet to have this conversation.
Yeah, well, I look forward to it.
Okay.